You know what? I guess the logistics. Can you say that again, like louder? So we think we've got a handle. It's the high water bills, is what you're asking. So we've got a handle on that. It was a combination of metering, the impact where some of the houses were unreadable, old technology that was used for estimating. So that combination really caused that spike. With 95,000 accounts, you're going to have always some high water bills. In fact, we have a bill commission that reviews those. So we think we've got a handle on the causes. In between new meters, the new system, the Tyler system that will replace Naviline, which is a legacy system, we think we've got a handle going forward. And also the changes that we made in the code with City Council's support give us a much more flexibility in dealing on those one-off cases that seem, illogical. Why can't you deal with a $1,000 bill? Well, the code restricted us in some cases. All those things have been in place. So we think we've got a handle on it. There will still be high water bills when you've got almost 100,000 accounts, and we think we've got a way to deal with those on an individual basis. Well, like I said, it's a case-by-case basis. We've done all the things that I just outlined. If someone has an issue, contact my office if you can't get a hold of anyone else, and we'll take a look at it. But each case is really different. We are looking at that as a priority. We've been committed to that, and we'll continue to be committed to it. Yeah. You want to? Okay. Assistant Administrator Tom Green has some comments on that.
Good morning. To the mayor's point, we track and monitor a couple of different metrics with respect to bills. And one of them, or a combination of them, is 2 times and 4 times the 3-month prior average. And so the numbers that we're seeing show that we have normalized to pre-storm readings from, let's take July of 24. The numbers in July of 25 are very similar with respect to 2 times and 4 times the 3 months prior consumption. So we believe that it's normalized. There are certainly cases, individual cases that we're working with customers on, but the 2 times and 4 times has normalized to pre-storm.
There are some people who have done things before hurricane season, right, that from 2022, who said that their consumption history has jumped and it goes back to normal after they have multiple meters gone. I mean, those errors.
Yeah. And we're working through all those individual cases on a case-by-case basis. It's really difficult to answer all of those at one time, but we are working with our customers to address those issues.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Chief?
So I will bring up Deputy Chief Brett Siskowski, who can answer in detail more about the high water vehicles and the number of rescues that we had last year.
Thank you. I'm sorry, from standing over there, I didn't hear your question. If you could just repeat it.
How deep of water can they travel through? How many rescues do you roughly?
Sure, absolutely. So during Hurricane Helene itself, we had 430 citizens that we rescued using our one high water vehicle that we had at the time, and then we were borrowing from other departments within the city, dump trucks. These vehicles themselves can go into 4 feet of water. As you can see, the exhaust is snorkeled out. So that's the highest safe distance that we can bring these vehicles into.
How many do you have?
So we have 3 new, and we had 1 existing, and with City Council's assistance, we were able to acquire the 3 new ones for approximately $300,000. 2 of the 3 will have fire pumps on them, with the capability of taking that pump off at a moment's notice if we need additional citizen transport units. Yeah, so we did have areas of the city that were inaccessible to our normal fire vehicles, normal fire engines. So adding these to our fleet is going to make us be able to respond to those areas that are flooded out. They do have fire pumps. They do have water tanks fire hose, and then the ability to draft from a static water supply. So if we're in an area that has standing water, we can drop that drafting strainer in and use that as our hydrant. So the capabilities to attack a fire in those situations, that's something that we've added that we didn't have the capability as of before. Milton was a different storm, and we had the unprecedented rain with Milton, but the rescues for Milton was between 75 and 100. Helene, in that 3-hour period, we had 430. We were just inundated.
Mayor, hi. Wanted to ask, I think you mentioned $40 million in FEMA reimbursement. Is any of that for Tropicana Field?
Let me ask Tom to come up and give you the answer on that.
No, none of those are zero of that is for Tropicana Field. We're still in the process of, as you can see, it's under construction. And when this project is completed, then we will have all the information that we can submit to FEMA for reimbursement. But we have been in long time communication with FEMA in the state of Florida, FDEM, to ensure that we're in the right position so that when we are concluded with the project, to submit that for reimbursement.
Okay, so that would be submitted next year.
When the project is completed, yes.
Okay, and is there a limit on, you'd have to get a response within a year or a calendar year? Or what's kind of the time frame for reimbursement?
That is a very good question, and it really varies. It is so hard to forecast how quickly projects move through the process. Mayor mentioned in his opening remarks that some of the reimbursements we got were for things that we did prior to the storm. So sometimes those projects move very quickly. On big projects like this, it'll probably take longer just because of all the moving parts and all the different pieces of analysis that needs to go into it.
Thank you. What is the backup plan just in case Tropicana Field is not ready by opening day?
I'm not sure there is one. We're going to do everything we can to make sure it's ready. If it's not, if there's some act of God, then we'll have to adjust to that. But we plan to be ready for, I don't know if it's opening day per se. I think they open at home. Right.
Yeah, home opening.
Right. But everything is on schedule. Don't jinx it, Colleen. But, the plan is to have it ready. If there's an act of God, we'll deal with it.
Okay. And do you have have you met with the new prospective buyers yet, or do you have a meeting scheduled?
As soon as it's appropriate for us to do so, after the sale is finalized, we will.
Are there any other questions?
I think it's a positive development. I know they have a future here through at least 2028. I think they'll probably have a future here beyond that, just given logistics, even if they do want to move. So we're looking forward to having a conversation with them about what their priorities are, what ours are. But this other 60 acres to the east of Brooker Creek, due to our staff's work and the termination agreements, we want to start moving on that and turning this pavement into jobs and housing has been the promise. So I think it's a positive development. We look forward to the conversation.
Without the raise, you'll go ahead with the project.
Absolutely.
Mayor, do you have a running list of the repairs done at Tropicana Field? Like what?
I'm sure Beth has all kinds of spreadsheets on that. Absolutely. Any other questions? Yeah.
Have you guys done anything in your permitting office to speed it up?
We-
God forbid ever happens again?
We've done a heck of a lot even before the storms in our permitting office. We had a business process improvement project that, for example, created the ombuds person, had created some online access. That was before the storms. And certainly after that, we've augmented staff. We've done everything we could possibly do as, those examiners and inspectors were in wide demand across the Southeast. So, yeah, our team has done a lot to try to meet really an unprecedented need in permitting. Any other questions? I know y'all are hot, but all right. Thank y'all for being here, and we're moving forward as a city. Thank you.
On the road, there are no second chances. When you're behind the wheel, nothing is more important than staying focused on the road. Your life and the lives of others are at risk. Put the phone away. It can wait. Don't drive distracted.
Evan?
My name is Evan. I graduated from St. Pete.
St. Pete High. All right, good to meet you.
My name is Mario.
Mario.
St. Pete.
Another Green Devil?
We have a license A, B, and C that allow you to move up through the ranks of a treatment plant.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, everybody.
The Mayor's Future Ready Academy is an innovative approach to providing opportunities for our young people and also fulfilling some of our workforce needs in city departments like Parks and Recreation, Sanitation, and Public Works. This was an innovative way that our departments thought to open the doors of opportunity to let our young people know about the career path, not just a job, but a career with the city of St. Petersburg.
Hey, good morning. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send y'all with the field group. I think one is going to be manhole inspections.
Our Future Ready Academy really consists of going through each department through the city and then learning new experiences through each department and what each department consists of. You get to learn a lot.
Well, I'm with Water Resources Department right now, and we came out here to this manhole to see if the float should be moved.
The blower is ventilating the air right now, pushing all the toxin gas out and bringing fresh air in.
Today, we're trying to get the flow meter changed from one manhole to the next one. And one manhole, there's a lot of sludge, and then the other one, we just found out it is sludge in that one as well.
We have to use a blower to blow all the toxic gas out and put fresh air in the manhole so it's safe for somebody to go down there.
It's a good way to look at what they do behind the scenes. Coming out here, you actually see like they test the waters for how fast it's traveling, and they test the waters like to see like the gases and what's in it.
They clean out at the lift stations things that come through the toilet filtration system. That's like the flush wipes. They're really not flushable or biodegradable. There's just a lot of things that people flush that don't need to be flushed.
Today I'm with Park and Recs, the construction crew.
They building a clay pit. We had to stack all the bricks up and then make our own mix and spread it in so it can lock.
Cadets have opportunities to earn some other certifications outside of the classroom. These cadets were working on their CDLB, which means once they complete this particular program, they will be CDLB certified, which means that they'll be able to operate certain vehicles that you have to have the CDLB permits for.
So y'all did it. I'm proud of y'all. I swear I'm so proud of y'all.
Today I'm with the SPTO department and I'm with the traffic group.
Across the road, there's another pole box. Once we pull it through there, we're gonna run it up the pole and out onto the arm.
Today we were setting up radars, which kind of scan the cars when they pull up to the lights, giving signals to the lights so that they could turn.
We have sensors that will see cars. And what we did is we needed to add 2 sensors for north and south coming out of the dog track and coming out of apartment complex.
I've never been up that high, other than in like an airplane, but seeing the wires and how everything works was really cool. I want to have a job with the city so I can start my career. and then from that point on, just keep moving up.
You are a leader. You are important. You deserve everything that you desire. And St. Petersburg is a great place for you to achieve those things. Is that right?
The program was good. At some points it was a little hard to kind of, I guess, keep going, keep pushing through it. But being here today, it's really good. I feel very accomplished.
He started out and he continued and completed everything that he set out to do. So I'm proud of him.
I just think it's incredible when we talk about this program. 9 graduates, 6 full-time opportunities, 3 CDLs, 1 part-time. I mean, it's just incredible to think about what you've accomplished in that time period.
I feel like I'm real proud of myself. I feel like I did a good job throughout the whole program, you know, not giving up and just keep working so I can better myself in life.
I'm just so thankful for the program. It gives him a start in life, and I'm really, really proud of him.
You are the first. You set the standard, and you've proven the concept of this program. We want to make sure that whether you're with us for 5 years or for 50 years, that you know that you have the foundation to move forward in life and achieve anything that you all want to achieve.
Camp Ignite is a 3-day program where aspiring female youth between the ages of 13 and 18 are able to come to fire rescue and experience what it's like to be a firefighter.
The girls will be learning a lot of hands-on skills within the fire department. They'll learn about the importance of teamwork and mentorships and building lasting relationships.
18 starts. Together we ignite!
We want to leave a lasting impression so that when it is time to figure out what their career is, they keep in mind that St. Petersburg Fire Rescue is here.
Last year, we provided opportunities for about 12 campers. This year, we were able to expand that capacity and actually double those numbers through continued partnership with Pinellas County Urban League, partnership with Parks and Rec, and our local union, Local 747.
This type of program is important for us in the community and the city. I want the girls to be enlightened about all of the opportunities that they have available to them here in our city, that the Urban League is there to support them in ways that they could not imagine, to make a selection that best fits what they want to do with their future.
Growing up, you don't see female firefighters as much as you see the males. So to see a female doing this is great for girls. So I think this is an excellent opportunity for young females to get involved and see what they can do.
It's very rewarding to see children get excited about our job. So being able to mentor those individuals in the right direction and stress the importance of physical fitness, nutrition, and establishing mentors is huge.
We want to make sure that we are getting the best. And this is an opportunity for them, if they do decide to become firefighters, they can be local heroes. And this is a great career. And we want to make sure that we continue down this path of ensuring that we provide the opportunities for them.
Camp
camping night is being a firefighter.
They're just giving us new experiences of what the firefighters actually do.
They're trying to inspire young girls to want to try and be firefighters.
I think my favorite thing to do was probably saving the baby, and you have to like go through the smoke and crawl on your knees to try and find the baby. I think that was pretty fun.
I really liked going up in the ladder truck because they took us like all the way up. It was like 100 feet. It was really fun.
My favorite thing was when we went in an ambulance, we got a thing on the radio that said there was an alligator attack. It was like cool to feel like the adrenaline and try to like save them.
It's inspiring to see females doing firefighting because like when they do it, it means that I can do it too, and so many other women can too.
They have taught us a lot, and they have brought different perspectives of being a female firefighter to us.
Girls feel like
that they can't accomplish the same things as men just because of the standard.
But really, there's like some really strong women out here, and it just inspires you to do what you think you can do. I think they are all amazing women, and they do such a hard job. And I think it's very inspiring, and it really encourages like girls like me to really like want to join this force.
18 sparks, together we ignite. 18 sparks, together we ignite.
18 sparks, together we ignite.
18 sparks, together we ignite!
Welcome to Clam Bayou Marine Education Center. This is a place where you can get your feet wet, your mind's engaged, and your heart happy.
This is a marine education center, and we use it for field trips like the one that you're gonna have today.
We're here observing an education program, a partnership with USF St. Pete that gives students in our community the opportunity to learn about our environment, to learn about oceanography, and have really a hands-on experience that many of them have never had before.
Ready? Yeah, let's go!
We're going to be measuring surface temperature, we're going to be measuring fish, looking at plankton, really just seeing all the things that, you know, the nature has for us.
What do you see? What do you notice?
A shell.
A shell. Okay.
A crab.
A crab.
We teach science the way we do our science. They're very authentic ways of doing things and measuring the cloud cover or the surface temperature. Students are learning to do that from their classroom setting, and then to be the experts by the time they visit Clam Bayou, where they take the same data in a natural, less developed setting and share that data with NASA. And that NASA data is then used by scientists all over the world. So the idea is to begin with teachers. Teachers first become comfortable and become the students, if you will, for a week, a couple weeks before school starts.
We want the teachers to feel comfortable with the things that they are learning so that they can go back to their classroom and equip their students in a way that is hands-on and engaging and that brings a love and curiosity for the environmental stewardship that we have right here at the Clam Bayou.
Partnerships are extremely important when it comes to reaching our youth. We're like the torso, right? Like we have the resources, but we aren't necessarily the arms and the legs. We can distribute the resources and through partnership to the arms and the legs. So that might be our local colleges or our local nonprofits, our businesses. Through the use of their arms, we move things around, and through the use of their legs, we move forward.
I see it moving. Oh yeah, look, there's a couple pods.
We were over at the mangroves, and one of my students who never talks in class, I mean, he's just the most quiet kid. He's like shouting out the answer to what detritus is. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's speaking. So I'm like really glad that he got that moment to, you know, be heard and have a voice.
We asked the young man, what do you want to do? He says, I want to be a marine biologist. And that is exactly what we want to see. Kids thinking about their future, finding paths that they can make to be successful, and making sure that we facilitate that progress for them.
I hope that they all leave with some sort of curiosity. They leave with a question. Maybe we didn't answer everything for them, and they have to go on their own and inquire about it. Because no matter what you do in life, having that quizzical nature is necessary and will help you throughout both the lulls and the highs.
Clam Bay was really fun. First, we went to go learn about plankton, then we went into the water. It was really cool. We caught all sorts of fish, 22 fish to be exact.
Can I hold that? We just learned about mangroves, how they like absorb, and they have like some have salt on the back and that you can eat, but you can't eat the front because there's no salt on it. And they also can protect buildings, how like if a tornado or hurricanes come, it can protect the buildings.
We looked at microscopes to find plankton, and we got to draw the plankton that we saw. There was like these different organisms. It was clear. It was see-through.
I would tell them it's a whole bunch of fishing, a whole bunch of water. I would tell you there's people that will help you. You get to learn a lot of stuff. That's what I would really tell them.
I think a trailblazer is a person who looks at the needs of now without high regard for the status quo or the way we've always done things, but focuses their work on how you make our community better today and for generations to come. None of us stand on our own, and so in order for me to be elected mayor, there were so many folks in generations before me that had to fight even for the right to vote, or even for the right to be a full-fledged police officer like Leon Jackson. I just looked at myself as the next in a line of folks who are working to move our community forward. Without the Leon Jacksons of the world, I certainly wouldn't be in this position. And without guys like Bob Stewart, former city council member and county commissioner, who's one of my mentors, who served with both me and my father, you know, without those folks also pushing, we wouldn't be where we are today. You know, I attended the last segregated class at Melrose as a kindergarten student, that I'm able to go back to that and talk to those students as the 54th mayor of our city. That's a lot for one lifetime. As I go around the classroom, I do this for Great American Teach-In, and ask the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the last time I went, there were 3 kids that said, you know, I want to be mayor, and one young lady who said she wanted to be president. That's what it's all about. It's just making sure kids understand you really can achieve. Progress doesn't happen without someone who challenges the status quo, the powers that be, and speaks up for folks who are largely silenced. There is such a thing as a silent majority, folks who are too busy putting food on the table, taking care of their kids or their parents, to be involved in the political arena. And so the folks that do that represent a lot of folks who can't be engaged. Find someone, reach out to someone that you admire who's made it, and reach out to them. Email, Facebook. I guarantee a lot of folks will actually respond to that. I certainly will if someone's interested in elective office. Reach out, make that first step. Never be bound by the status quo or someone else's opinion of what you can or cannot do. Hey guys, Ken Wells here again on our Sunrunner tour. Today I'm with Catherine Woods, who was the artist that did so much of the work that you'll see at the stops. Thank you for joining us, Catherine.
Oh, my pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about what the art means.
Absolutely. Since St. Pete is such a mural city, if you took all the glasses out of all the shelters and put them together, it kind of looks like a mural, a continuous mural. If you take the glasses and where they are at all the 16 stops, they all relate to the neighborhood. So it's like the welcoming front porch to the community in the neighborhood that it's in.
What's the message you want to convey to folks who might be from out of town that see that?
I just want them to feel the joy of St. Petersburg. The colors are joyful, the way the sun comes through it's a very happy thing, and I just want them to feel that.
And what drew you to this project in the first place? How'd you become
Oh my gosh,
involved?
how could you say no to that big canvas? There's 2 glasses per station, and each one is 5 foot by 7 foot, 16 stations, so that's a lot of glass, and that's a lot of chance to get a message across and do a lot of beautiful color.
Well, thank you. It's beautiful art.
My pleasure.
And it tells the story of St. Petersburg.
It does.
Thank you, Catherine.
My pleasure.
I look at Woodlawn as probably the most neighbor-friendly, kid-friendly neighborhood that I've ever lived in. It's a wonderful neighborhood to grow up in. I wish I was a kid growing up in this neighborhood.
It's a real family-oriented community, super close to downtown, and it's just kind of one of those picturesque, nice, quaint little neighborhoods.
I think what was really cool about the neighborhood is it's different compared to a lot of the other neighborhoods where part of it is on a circle. So as soon as we drove in on the neighborhood looking for a house, I just knew that this neighborhood had kind of some extra character to it.
Woodlawn has got a circular style to it, design to it, and you can see from some of these old pictures that there really is a circle or an oval to Woodlawn neighborhood.
My favorite part of the day is driving home. You turn onto our street from MLK, and there's beautiful oak trees, blooming crepe myrtles, and then there's a park. We have a park just at the end of our street. So here in Woodlawn, we have 3 public parks within our community.
We use those parks a lot for our garage sale in the fall. There's cookouts that go on in those neighborhood parks, and they become very handy.
And that's where we have all of the holiday events, all of our neighborhood events, potlucks, things like that. But then on the weekends, you can just kind of go out there and hang out. So I've worked out in the park, take my dog to the park. There's a basketball hoop for the neighborhood kids to hang out. Got it!
As the fall and into the winter and into the holiday season, every one of those little pocket parks gets used for certain events.
Christmas caroling going on during Christmas. There's an Easter egg hunt through the neighborhood. Halloween is huge in this neighborhood.
And then Halloween, you forget about it. It is crazy around here.
Woodlawn likes to party.
So, like everything, trees come and go, and a lot of the trees in this neighborhood are laurel oaks, and they've got a time period of about 70 years in their lifespan. And we realized early on that the trees in this neighborhood were going to go away. What we did several years ago as part of a grant is got additional oak trees planted in several of those quadrant parks just to give a little shade so it's not as hot during the summer. And I would guarantee that 50 years from now, 100 years from now, the folks that are living here in these houses will be looking at those trees, wondering who planted them, and gosh darn it, they got to be getting old. Maybe we need to think about putting some new ones in.
There's so many generations of families here, old houses, new houses, young families, families that have been here for 20 years. But amidst all that, it's just a really cool community feel.
When we saw this house, as scary as it was, we knew it was the house just based on coming into the neighborhood and feeling so welcomed.
And the other interesting thing is about the folks that live in Woodlawn, the majority of them are very passionate about living here.
It's just a very outgoing and nice community.
name is Michael Cotman, and this is Twin Brooks Golf Course. I oversee all of the facilities here that maintain the golf course and try to get it in pristine condition. It's a 9-hole golf course. We have a practice facility in the back, which is 3 practice holes. It's a really unique facility because it's in the middle of the city. It's really a benefit to the city because what we do here is we provide a place for play that's more reasonable than any of the other golf courses in the area. We have guys that come out here that are 80 years old. For them, this is an exercise. It's a chance to get out of the house and to do something. And for the kids, it's an opportunity to get off of the streets and to learn the game. My day begins around 5 o'clock. Make the assignments for everybody, make sure everybody's got the tools and protections that they need. So we set up the golf course, get that done, and then we'll do all of our other stuff. We'll mow fairways, we'll mow rough, we'll trim trees, we'll do hedges, and any other thing that pops up. So it becomes pretty daunting at times, but we manage to get it done, one bite at a time. So every day is a different adventure. When I got on this particular property, we didn't have fairways, we didn't have moguls, we didn't have mounds. Now we have a primary place to play where it looks like an 18-hole manicured golf course, even though it's 9 holes. There's a satisfaction that you get when the transformation process, to see it go from what it was to your vision, is so fulfilling.
I'm Jane Ordner, Parking Enforcement Officer. We're here to keep the traffic moving. That's our goal. Yes, we write parking tickets, but we really just want to keep the parking spaces open for everybody to patronize the businesses. If we weren't here, there'd be no parking, ever. I mean, you gotta have some kind of compassion. You can't just be out there and hit them hard. If it's you and your vehicle's first ticket and you've spent $25 or more at a downtown business the same day as the ticket, you can get it voided. They'll ask you to bring in a copy of your receipt, your driver's license to the 301 Central, and they'll take care of it from there. Everybody makes mistakes. We want to have compassion for these people. For instance, if they have a discharge paper from the emergency room with their name on it with the date and time of the ticket, yes, they can get it voided also that way. One lady went in, she was in labor and her husband parked. Well, we voided his ticket too because he was there for the birth of his child. So it's really situation upon situation, but most of the time if they have discharge papers and they can prove it, it's usually voided. We know it's an inconvenience to get a ticket and it's kind of aggravating, but in the long run it goes to a good cause because it gives the city money to comply with ADA compliances, the sidewalks and all that good stuff to fix them and everything else. And then another portion goes to school crossing guards so we can make sure that every school has them. I've had a lot of positive interactions. For instance, sometimes I go down to the dog park in the afternoon to give the dogs treats. I enjoy interacting with the different people. I know a lot of the different restaurant owners, so just interacting with different people on a day-to-day basis. We're not out there to necessarily give the tickets, we would rather them move. And that's the most important thing is we want people to be able to come down and patronize a business without having to worry about parking. If we weren't here, that nobody would ever find a parking space. They would park there and they'd stay. They wouldn't move. So then if you want to go to a specific restaurant, you can't go because that parking's full all day. We're there for a reason.
All right. Here's my little tap. All right. Welcome to the April 2026 Code Enforcement Board meeting. This meeting is an evidentiary hearing beginning at 8:30 a.m., followed by consideration of lien release requests. Lien certifications are heard by a special magistrate in a separate hearing. During this evidentiary session, we'll hear testimony from property owners and the city's codes compliance department about whether a property is in violation of the city code. We'll hear testimony from the city's code and compliance department, even if a property owner who has received notice of this hearing fails to appear. A property owner who arrives late after his or her case has been called, heard, and decided by this board will not have a right to be heard. The hearing will be conducted as follows. The city shall present its case first. After each witness has testified, the property owner may, through the chairperson of the board, cross-examine or ask questions of the witness. When the city has presented all of its case, the property owner may present his or her case. An attorney or some other representative may represent you. You can present evidence in your defense either through witnesses or your own testimony. If you present photographs or written documents as evidence, they must be submitted to the board's recording secretary for the case file, and they're sitting right in front of you. The city will be able to cross-examine you and each of your witnesses. You have the right to remain silent, and your silence will not be held against you. You have the right to testify, and have your testimony considered under the same standards as that of other witnesses. The board may ask questions of the witnesses on both sides as the evidence is presented. This is not a criminal proceeding. Strict rules of evidence are not applied during the proceedings. After the board has heard testimony from both sides, the board will entertain a motion and may enter a closed discussion at that time. During the closed discussion among the board, no additional testimony from the city or the property owner may be heard. Based upon the testimony and evidence presented, the board will decide whether or not a violation exists and whether the violation has been corrected. The board finds that there is a violation and that has not been corrected. The board will order the property owner to correct the violations in a specific time period and a daily fine to accrue thereafter for failure to comply. Failure to correct the violation within the specified time will result in a fine for each day the property is not in compliance after that time period. After the board has made its decision, a copy of the board's finding and order will be mailed to the property owner of record. The correction of violations must occur before midnight of the deadline set for compliance. If the corrections are not made by the deadline, the fine will be imposed for each day any uncorrected violation continues after the deadline. If after your case is heard, you wish to appeal the decision, you have 30 days to petition the Circuit Court of Pinellas County. So let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in for testimony today. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Oseklis?
Here.
Williams? Schneider? Hanshaw? Hensler?
Here.
Wilson? Hobbs? Waite?
Here. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. So I know we're all busy, have things going on in our lives. If you could please put your phones on silent. Put them on vibrate. If you need to take a phone call, just pick your phone up, go outside, and do whatever you need to do outside. The other thing we ask when you're testifying, just be concise, stick to the salient facts. We got a lot, it's going to be a long day today. And, we're going to give you your time to present, but just ask you to try to be as concise as possible. Okay? Thank you.
We're starting with
Okay,
item... Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, Paige, I didn't mean to interrupt. If I may real quick.
Yeah.
So today is Administrative Professionals Day. So
I wanted to take an opportunity to thank all of our administrative staff, not just Paige and Catherine and Lonnie, who is usually here, but all of our staff back at the office as well. You see the codes investigators here presenting every month, but truly a lot of the bulk of the work in what I like to call our engine room is our admin staff back at the office. These hearings don't happen without them. Notices getting sent out don't happen without them. The phone calls to answer any questions don't happen without them. So I just wanted to let them know that we appreciate them, thank them for all their hard work. And that was it before we get started. So,
Awesome.
thank
They
you.
do a great job.
Thank you. We're starting with item 122, property owner Dow Volker Trust and St. Petersburg Title Trust, investigator Brian Greenman.
Would the representative please step to the podium, please? Yeah, this right over. Let's just go ahead and we can address that when it comes time for you to present.
I am Brian Greenman, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 122, case number 25-28671, regarding property located at 1026 7th Street South. I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a single-family structure and is vacant. This is a codes-initiated case. The property was first inspected on December 18th, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of January 31st, 2026. The property was last re-inspected on April 16th, 2026, and the following violation still exists. Permits required for installation of stairs at the rear of the property. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on April 10th, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 22734, page 1267. During the course of my investigation, I have not had any contact with the owner. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for noncompliance. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibit Number 1, photographs which were taken on December 10th, 2025 and April 16th, 2026. Document 041626671 BNG CEB and photo numbers 1 through 3. This first photo is an establishing shot of the property in question. This is a photo of the stairs as they are now. And then this is the photo of the stairs under construction. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibit Number 2. This concludes my presentation.
Thank
If I
you.
may.
Yes.
So I just wanted to highlight as well that there was some confusion with the property owners because I believe they got some information from some staff in our zoning department and not our permitting department that made them believe that a permit wasn't required for some of the repairs. We've seen some of these before us, where even just replacing a single stair tread, some of the structural elements does require a permit. So we confirmed with the building official or deputy building official that a permit was required for those repairs. I believe the property owner submitted a permit yesterday, but I did just want to notify you that there was some confusion on behalf of the property owner due to some information from city staff that didn't quite oversee the permitting process. So.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Any questions for staff?
Yeah. Mr. Greenman, could you tell me again, when did this case first start?
This case started, the first inspection was on December 18th, 2025.
So I did hear correctly. Thank you.
Okay. Can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Brian Ungst, 625 Court Street, McFarlane, Ferguson, and McMullen here on behalf of the property owner.
And what do you have document in terms of representing the property owners?
Mr. Watt and Mr. Campbell and I have been working holistically on compliance for this property owner for a few weeks, maybe going back a month or two now.
Okay.
So the city is well aware of my representation. We've been working very collaboratively together to try to reach compliance.
Okay.
Which is always our goal. So, Mr. Chair, if I might, I'll try to be concise. My client did obtain a general contractor, Bill Fannin, who has applied for a permit. My hope is that it is imminently to be issued. My client did proactively reach out to planning and zoning. That was before I got involved. They are now aware that planning and zoning is not the right department to reach out to regarding building permits. So I've got them now communicating with Mr. Campbell, Ricky Campbell, in the building department. They were told by someone in zoning that stair slats, just individual stair slats, did not require a permit. That is true. And so there was confusion when they got the notice of violation. It said installation of stairs. This is an existing stairwell.
Sure.
Their confusion was, well, we don't need a permit to install stairs. What Mr. Campbell and Mr. Wah have clarified for me is there were apparently some allegedly structural elements that were also added that do require a permit.
Okay.
That was recently clarified.
So how much time do you think you're going to need? It sounds like you
60
submitted a
days
permit.
at the most. I mean, my preference would be for not to have a finding of violation today and to continue this till the next hearing, because I think we'll get a permit. They would prefer not to have a finding of violation.
Sure.
If you feel like you need to find a violation, we would ask for a lower fine and 60 days.
Okay. Any questions?
The permit was submitted yesterday.
Either yesterday or the day before. That's my understanding, yes. There was still confusion about whether they needed a general contractor, whether this was about individual stairs or whether it was about a structural element. And when that clarification was provided, I immediately told them they needed to get a general contractor, which they did.
Well, in any case, as soon as the permit is issued, the case goes on hold.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be an after-the-fact permit because it looks like your clients are already done. Have they completed the construction of the stairs?
Yeah, they're telling me that any structural elements that were added have been removed. So as of right now, they've removed that. I don't know if the code inspector's been out there to look at it again since April 16th. I have not been out there. I'm not a general contractor. So if the general contractor needs to do additional work, that would be part of the plans that he submits.
Okay.
But I don't think this is a huge job. It doesn't look like a significant amount of work.
Okay, my point being that we can't find no violation because there is one.
Yeah.
All we can do at this point is give you time to have the permit issued. That puts the case on hold until the permit is finalized. The case will remain open until that final inspection.
Yes,
so it's important that your client know that they have to have the final.
Understood.
Okay?
Yes, thank you.
So there's nobody living in this house?
No,
Stairs are not being used.
that's correct.
I'll read something.
Sure.
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the codes investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Dow Volker Trust and St. Pete Title Trust to correct the violations within 45 days or by June 6, 2026. This order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Let's vote.
No discussion?
Oh,
Okay. No. Just making sure. Alseklis?
thank you.
Yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wait?
Yes. So, I think you've heard the motion. You've got some time to get your, I think what my colleague said, once the permit's issued, that'll put this case on hold, but you do need to follow through. You do need to get this completed. You do need to have the follow-up. You got to get the permit closed out.
Yes,
Be
sir.
in compliance.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you for your cooperation in this.
Absolutely, thank you.
Item number 146, property owner PVPG Holdings LLC, investigator for Zone 18.
Good morning. I am Patrina Miller, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 146, case number 25-27560, regarding the property located at 2422 23rd Street South. I was sworn in at this meeting. The property is a single-family structure and is occupied by tenants. This is a citizen's complaint case. The property was first inspected on January 8, 2026, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of February 2nd, 2026. The property was last re-inspected on April 16, 2026, and the following violations still remain. The structure erected at the rear of the property larger than 100 square feet will require a permit. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since the case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on April 10, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to the hearing. Ownership was confirmed on County Official Records, book number 23120, page 0180. During the course of my investigation, I have not had any contact with the owner. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for noncompliance. As of April 22, 2026, permit number 26-04001639 is pending verification for a 9x16 open-air pergola. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibits 1, photographs which were taken on April 16, 2026, document 0416266560 CEB, and photos 1 through 3. Here's a shot of the pergola from the front of the property. And here is a shot of the pergola from the rear alley. This concludes, I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibits 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. When was the permit issued?
April 22nd, it wasn't issued, it's pending verification.
Pending verification?
Yes, sir. April 22nd,
Filed as an after the fact?
correct,
Okay.
yes.
I just had a question, and this is my ignorance. Is pergola a officially defined structure somewhere, or is that just a term that is being used colloquially in this sense?
There is a definition for pergola, especially as it relates to setback requirements.
Okay.
I could dive into the code as we're getting testimony from the property owner if you would need it, but.
I was curious, that looks like it's, I don't know what a pergola is per se on an official definition. I know kind of generally what people call them, but I guess more my question was just if that's the appropriate permit and function of the permit for what they're doing versus are we going to go through this whole process and then it turns out that's not even a pergola and then they're back here in 3 months for the same sort of thing.
I mean, when they submit their drawings, I mean, that's the main thing, right? Whether it's a pergola, covered patio.
Carport, whatever.
Whatever
yeah.
the case may be, right? The drawings are going to be submitted and they'll be reviewed based on how the structure's built. I think the terms of, what we call it can be interchangeable.
Okay.
But the ultimate goal is to get a permit obtained for the structure that was there, and that will involve them providing their drawings and plans for exactly what's located on the property.
The permit type they've applied for is broad enough because it's just for residential garages and carports. So
Okay,
it would
perfect.
cover what this
That's exactly where I was going. If they're going after the wrong permit, then we'd be right where we were, so, thank you.
Any other questions for
I have a
staff?
question. I'm just curious. I jotted down that you said that this case was started in January of 26.
Yeah.
This is a 25 case number. Is this a route?
2025, I apologize, yeah.
Oh, so it's been going on for 8.
Well, we weren't issuing any, right. We weren't
Over it. I didn't know if it was 3
violation.
months or 15 months. Okay. Thank you very much.
Clarifying, yep. Okay, if there's nothing else, can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Spencer Handley, 1001 26th Avenue South, St. Pete, Florida.
So Spencer, tell us about this, the relationship to PVPG Holdings LLC?
The manager.
Okay. So can you tell us about this structure that went up without a permit?
The house was purchased last year. The structure had been in place 20 years, but it was damaged by the hurricane, and we just rebuilt it.
So it looks like you realized you did need to have a permit, right?
We realized it after the fact.
Okay.
It's a detached part of the house. It's not attached to the house at all. Like I said, it was already in place. There was a concrete structure under it already in place. I have picture to show you how old this thing was.
Sure.
And all we did was rebuilt the structure for the roofing, for basically a gazebo.
Yeah. Clearly, there were some concerns from the neighbors because it is a citizen's complaint. So it looks like it was more than just a simple repair. It looks like there's some new posts, right? Some new anchors.
We added some middle posts to firm it up as well.
Right.
But
Which then should have led to kind of the thought we probably need to get a permit for this because we're altering the structure instead of just a repair.
But it wasn't when it wasn't attached to the house, we didn't feel like we needed it. Just
Okay.
didn't know.
And just in terms of the permit, are you guys using, is this a self-applied permit or are you using a general contractor?
General contractor.
Okay. Any other?
So this has been open since 2025, and you guys just applied for a permit yesterday? Were the notices not received?
The notices were received. We put it into our architect, and
Just fell through the cracks?
you know how architects are. Excuse after excuse, it's not done.
Understood. Okay.
Did a contractor build this?
No, this was by the previous homeowner.
No, the structure as it stands today.
Yes.
Was it did a contractor build it, or was it just folks?
No, we have, he's a contractor, but he built it up for the roof.
But it's a licensed general contractor?
Yes, a licensed general contractor is the one who built it, yes.
Okay, and didn't apply for any permits or anything?
Nope.
We didn't think we needed a permit.
And I know you keep taking the blame, and I appreciate that. It's just that you're not the general contractor, and he knows, and you aren't expected to know. So I just hold general contractors to a little higher standard. That's why I asked if it was a general contractor that actually did the work. But I appreciate you owning responsibility for it. That's commendable. Okay, that's all I got.
So well, we need to, any ideas on how long you think it's going to take to get your permit approved? Because once the permit's approved, this goes on hold, I think, as you heard from the last case.
40 to 60 days, maybe.
Pardon me?
40 to 60 days.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know what the process, sometimes the process here takes a little bit longer.
For sure.
But it's, as soon as it goes in and we get the information, if we need to change anything, we'll change it.
Yeah, and just be quick to reply, right? That'll help expedite the process.
I can read something if we
Please.
don't have any more
I have
questions.
one more question.
Yeah.
This is just out of curiosity. Is it open with slats for sun to come through, or is it a completely covered roof over the structure?
It's covered.
No sunlight streaming in
No,
from above? Okay.
not
thank
from
you.
the top, from the sides.
Gotcha.
And so a tenant is in there now?
The front, the house, yes.
Yeah, I hope they don't live in the pergola.
Go ahead and read.
Sorry.
Please.
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the code's investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders PVPG Holdings LLC to correct the violations within 45 days or by the date of June 6th, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Motion and a second. Let's vote.
Alseckless,
Yes.
Henshaw,
Yes.
Hensler,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wait,
Yes. Okay, so you have 45 days to get your permit approved. If it's not approved within 45 days, you're going to get a notice in the mail to attend a special magistrate meeting. Just make sure that the correspondence is going where it needs to go, so you get this. Obviously, you're getting correspondence because you were here, but that's your opportunity to then, if it's not approved, present your case in front of the special magistrate.
Thank you.
So good luck.
Thank you.
item number 105, property owner Marciana Ossie and Michelle Allison Swanwich, investigator Joseph Bernori.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am Joseph Bernori, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 105, case 25-25725, regarding the property located at 7200 Mount Essex Drive Northeast. I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a single-family structure and is occupied by owner. It's a codes follow-up case. Property was first inspected on October 8th, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of November 3rd, 2025. Property was last re-inspected on April 7th, 2026, and the following violation still exists. Permit is required for addition on the structure. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since the case began. Notice of hearing was sent, first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on April 7th, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 19262, page 1915. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was April 8th, 2026. The owner did not indicate when the violations would be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $100 per day thereafter for noncompliance. Additional relevant facts regarding this case are there are 2 permits in process. A residential additions permit 26300-2165 was applied for on March 30th, 2026, and a permit for structures other than buildings, permit number 26300-2169 was applied for the same day, March 30th, 2026. I'd like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1, photographs which were taken on October 1st, 2025 and April 7th, 2026, document APR 26CB, photos 1 to 6. There's an elevation shot back in October, rear in October, rear side with a door, and then on the recent inspection date, the addition in front, the updated addition in the rear, and the side view. I'd like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibit 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. So 2 questions. In terms of codes follow-up, just maybe elaborate on that a little bit. And then do you think the 2 permits that are in process, will they cover the entirety of what's been constructed to date?
I've had a lot of discussion with the building department, so I think that the direction that they chose to go was already instructed through several interactions with the building department. I haven't seen the detail of these permits yet. It doesn't show up on our page yet.
Right.
But just given the length of interaction with the building department already, few months, I would imagine that they pointed them in the right direction.
Okay. And then when you said codes follow-up, what did that mean? Like this
I think
was,
there might have been a complaint of junk or something outside at that time.
okay, which then led you out there and saw the structure in progress?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions for staff? Okay, sir, can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Hi, good morning. Thomas Swanwick, 7200 Mount Essex Drive, St. Pete.
And your relationship to Michelle Allison Swanwick and Marciana SU?
Michelle is my wife, and Marciana is my mother-in-law. And so a couple things. First, the overall time period. Mr. Brunnery mentioned when the first photo was in late 2025, I believe. We had a conversation. So before the citation was written and provided to me, we had a conversation immediately after the hurricanes. That's when a lot of that started. And he had left a note on my door and just asked me to give him a call. I had just started framing, so the picture that he demonstrated was almost done. You know, it had the Tyvek up, it was framed up, sheathed, and all of that. So when he left a note on my door, it had just some very basic framing. And I had experience with this before. This was a shed, less than 100 square feet. My understanding was no permit was needed. Even to this day, as much as just a few weeks ago, I have an email from Scott Hancock in the late February timeframe that states the requirements about whether a permit is needed or not. If it's less than 100 square feet and it's got 4 individual walls, it's not directly built to the house. It could be a butt to the house, but not, you know, there's no header. It's got 4 individual walls. And in layman's terms, if you were to pull the house away, is it freestanding and can substantiate itself? And that's how I built it. In 2018, I had experience with this. I was doing a pool and some other projects. Amy, one of the inspectors, gave me some guidance around that, as well as Frank, so I had some familiarity with it. Before I started this project, I went to downtown to make sure I dot my I's, cross my T's, met with planning, they confirmed that. So I began the project. I received a note on my door, I'm going to say like just after Christmas, something like that, after the hurricanes. So that would have been like the beginning of 2025. Mr. Brunnery asked me to give him a call. I called him and I explained, excuse me, that was my understanding. Less than 100 square feet, not attached, 4 individual walls, etc. He didn't acknowledge, he didn't agree or disagree. We just talked about it. Months went by, 7 months, something like that. And at the end of 25, I get a citation. And I called him and said, I'm a little confused. Like, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. Why, like, no phone call, no follow-up, just a citation after having that conversation? And he indicated maybe I misunderstood the conversation or what have you. But what never happened was, no, Mr. Swanwick, the rules have changed. You need a permit. That never happened. So at any rate, regardless, I went back to downtown, and if you look at like the delay and why this has taken so long, even if I leave this meeting now and I go across the street and I go and I bring this, hey, I want to build this size, they're going to tell me I don't need a permit. I've checked this 3 times, Scott Hancock and planning, and so the issue in my request is that that I would ask that this get dismissed because.
So can I just, I had a feeling you were kind of headed down that route. So we don't have the ability to dismiss anything. What we can give you is time to help you get this problem resolved, whether it is a permit or it's not a permit, so you can have the conversation with the right people. But we don't have the authority to dismiss
Okay,
anything.
that's
so,
okay.
So my request would be, sounds like you've got 2 permits in process.
Well, can
right?
I just
But
add
let
one
me
more
just-
thing?
If I can just finish, and then I'll let you go ahead.
Sure.
So you got 2 permits in process. I would say continue that process, right? Have those discussions. Fingers crossed. Maybe they just say you don't need a permit, and then this problem goes away for you. But that would be my recommendation: is to get your input as to how much time you think you need to have those conversations within reason.
If I could
Yeah.
add, obviously if the board feels like from the testimony there's not a violation, certainly the board can find no violation, but if the board does find a violation, you're correct, the board does not have the authority to dismiss a citation.
Thank you.
And share on that, I think based on the photographs that have been provided, clearly this isn't a freestanding structure. And I believe even the details of the permit submission that we have on file indicate that the structure is attached to the house. So, again, if this was separated, it fit within the guidelines of the, less than 100 square feet, less than 10 feet tall storage shed, then yes, it would be exempt from permitting requirements. But based on the photos that we showed, we don't believe that that's the case here. Obviously, the board, as Ms. Haggett just referenced, can determine whether or not they believe that to be true, and then make their ruling based on the evidence provided. So,
Okay, thank you.
Couple things. So I don't have a problem pulling a permit, right? The structure that Mr. Brunnery showed on the front of the house, I knew I had to pull a permit for that all along. So to me, my mindset was, what's the big deal? I'll just add I'll add that component to it, no big deal. I'll add that for the permit. The challenge is literally every time I go, I've hired an architect, I've had plans done. Every time I go back to planning, and I've even had in-depth conversations with Chief Inspector Doug Nelson. And every time I go back to planning, you don't need a permit, Mr. Swanwick. And so I've put the plan, I actually have architectural plans for both structures, the front of the house and the back of the house. I met with Scott Hancock again, met with all the e-planning people. I've got Teresa, Monica, Jennifer, Stephan. I've met in-person meetings with Deputy Director Ricky Campbell. The list goes on. And I've met with all of these people, showed this information, and just 2 weeks ago, after getting all the notarized documentation, the PDFs of the architectural plans, uploaded all of these things, then they came back and said, hey, we can't accept these plans. there after like multiple reviews. I mean, it just keeps going.
Right. So I think you've got the process going. Sounds like you're getting the documentation in that you need to get in, right? And so they'll be able to give you a decision one way or the other and just suggest, based on where we are right now, that you continue on that process. So again, I'll ask, how much time do you think you're going to need? I mean, we can make a judgment if you don't want to give us a time, but.
So I thought I was really close. Ricky Campbell and I met about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and he gave me some specific instructions. I followed those instructions, and I thought that was, and what happened, Mr. Brunner showed pictures of the framing on the front of the building. I got an email with the permit numbers. I didn't realize that they weren't approved because I had gone through all the steps, so I jumped the gun a little bit, right? And so I stopped once I realized that.
Sorry. So how much time do you think you're going to need?
90 days. Okay. Yeah, I would have said less, but I think because I was just told they're not going to accept these plans, I don't know what that means. So I'm asking for 90 days, and I think I can get this wrapped up within that period of time.
So any.
Are you a general contractor?
No, I've just been through this number of times, so I've had some experience.
What we're hearing is that you kind of sort of tried to get all this information instead of just going and applying for a permit, which would have saved everybody a lot of time. So I understand and appreciate that your approach was a little different than you normally see, because normally people just go through the process. So you realize it now. So now do you have a general contractor, or are you putting this up by yourself?
I'm putting it up myself, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have some construction background. I'm just not a licensed general contractor.
Okay.
I have a question for the city. Where are we at on these 2 permits?
Both permits have not been routed for review because there's pre-screen corrections. So that first step where the technicians look to make sure that the application is complete, it's still stuck at that. And one of the notes is that it can't be pulled as a property owner permit. A contractor is required because this is a co-op or shared owner land.
Yeah, I just learned that a week or 2 ago, so.
You're in the process of
Yeah.
Getting a general
getting a
Yeah,
general
yeah.
contractor.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of sort of where I was heading before. You kind of circled the wagons instead of just marching into the middle and doing it the right way from the get-go. So, okay, let's see if we can get you back on track.
Yeah, I think I can get all this done in 90 days. It's a priority for me. I'm not dragging my feet, I can assure you that.
Any. Ready to take a vote?
I'm ready to read.
Oh,
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Marciana Azu and Michelle Allison Swanwich to correct the violations within 90 days or by the date of July 21st, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $100 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
So you have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Alseckless?
Yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wait.
Yes. Okay, so the board gave you 90 days. So if if your permits are not issued by then, right, because when they're issued, this goes on hold. If they're not issued, you're going to get a letter to attend a meeting with the special magistrate. You'll get the opportunity there to go in and present, like you did here, your discussion and kind of update where you are, and they may or may not give you more time to come in compliance. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 145, property owner D.P. Miller LLC, investigator Patrina Miller.
I am Patrina Miller, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 145, case number 25-28984, regarding property located in 1901 26th Avenue South. I was sworn in at this meeting. The property is a single-family structure and is occupied by tenants. This is a codes follow-up case. The property was first inspected on January 8, 2026, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of February 2nd, 2026, and an addendum sent with a compliance of February 16th, 2026. The property was last re-inspected on April 16, 2026, and the following violations still exist. Roof is in disrepair with missing damaged shingles, sheeting. A permit may be required for the repair. Fascia soffit is in disrepair with rotted, damaged wood. Chipping, peeling paint at the exterior of the structure. Driveway of the property is in disrepair. Driveway apron at the property is in disrepair. Wall and window construction / addition on the east side of the property was done without a permit. Permit is required for the work that was done. Bare wood, securing board unpainted at the structure. Multiple repairs done in a non-workmanlike manner at the property. Multiple window ACs units secured to structure in a non-workmanlike manner. Unfinished wall window construction addition in a non-workmanlike state. 7 out of 15 violations have been corrected since the case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on April 10, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in county official records, book number 18783, page 1280. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was on April 16, 2026. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for non-compliance. Additional relevant facts is there is an approved roof permit on file 26-04001284. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibits 1, photographs which were taken on April 16, 2026, document 0416269844CEB, and photos 1 through 10. This is the elevation shot of the property. Here we see the chipping, peeling paint, and some damage to the fascia. Here we see some damage to the soffit and damage to the fascia again. More damage, rotted wood, damage to the soffit. And here is the window that was installed without a permit, the window work that was done. Here's the unfinished secure board not painted. That is the roof repair that needs to be done. More roof repair. Here is the damaged apron. Here is the damaged apron / driveway. Elevation shot again. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibits 2, and this concludes my presentation.
A lot to unpack on this one. So I missed the beginning. What was the genesis of the complaint? It was a codes follow-up, or is this a, okay.
Codes follow-up, yes.
And is there any record of a window permit or any other permits being pulled other than the roof? Just the roof?
Yes.
Okay.
And for clarification, the case did start in 2025, but we were not issuing violations then. That's why we're now bringing it forward.
And are there tenants? I know you said there's tenants as a single-family residence. Do you think, are people living there today?
I'm not 100% sure, but it appeared that way to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just weren't home.
I had a question. You had mentioned about windows. So are the windows operational where it's safe for the people to be in there?
No, there was a permit needed for that one window where you saw the cement, the fresh cement around that was installed without a permit.
Right, and that was...
I'm not sure if it's operational right now. I didn't have access to the interior at that time.
Okay.
And the window screens are off, correct? Did they installed them?
Yes. I saw window screens from the outside. Yeah.
Any other questions for staff?
I'm good.
Good? Okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
Daniel Miller, 2862 Fifth Avenue North.
And your relationship to DP Miller LLC, the owner? Okay. So, Mr. Miller, sounds like there's a number of open items, windows built without a permit.
Correct.
So tell us what's going on.
The window was broken when the previous tenant moved out, and he asked if he could replace it. And it turned into him doing a bunch of concrete work that was of a miscommunication. So I definitely didn't say he could do all that.
Okay. So you do know you've got to pull a permit, and
Correct.
that's on the owner.
And the roof and the fascia violations will be handled this week. So they're going to do the roof tomorrow.
Okay.
Great. It'll be nice for you.
Mr. Miller, do you have other rental properties in St. Petersburg?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you run into codes violations at those properties as well?
I did after the hurricane, yeah.
And how about painting? Are you going to repaint the house anytime soon?
Yes. Yep, that'll be handled.
And is this a single family, or do you have more than one rental there?
There's another building, but there wasn't any violations with that building.
Right, so you have like 2 apartments to rent at the property?
I think there's 3 total.
3 total, okay. Are all of them occupied?
No.
How many are occupied?
2 of them are.
But the main house is not occupied?
No, it is occupied. I had a long-term tenant who moved out, and the other gentleman moved in, and I thought some of this was being handled, and so I've just kind of gotten involved. I don't go down there too often, but I will be.
Well, from the condition of the building, perhaps you ought.
Yeah. So you've got 8 violations still outstanding, a window permit. I don't know what that's going to entail because it looks like there's some additional work being done, hopefully not structural. So give us an idea of how much time you think you're going to need.
As much as you can give me, really. I mean, I've just got involved within the last month. I thought the painting and some of the other stuff was being handled, but it wasn't. I was being told a different story. So 120 days would be great.
I mean, recognize this has been since February, right? And actually even pre-existing because we weren't issuing violations because of the hurricane, so.
January, yeah.
Do you have a
Jan-
property management company?
No, I don't.
So you keep saying you weren't aware, you weren't aware, you weren't aware. Who's overseeing the property? If it's not you, who is it?
No, it's me.
Oh, it is you.
But I was getting the violations, and it was chip paint, and there was stuff in the yard to begin with, and I was being told that it was done. And I didn't think it
When
was.
you say, and that's where I keep losing, you keep saying, I was told, who was
The
telling you?
tenant who lived there, it's his property,
And is that who's getting the notices from the city, the tenant? Or do you get them at your business?
No, I would get them and tell them, and he would tell me that he had done it.
So you
So it's a new
pass the
tenant.
buck to the tenant.
And
I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion, you're
Well,
allowed to
it's-
do that. Is that the
yeah, no, it's
DA that
deserved.
you're supposed to be making these corrections?
Correct, and it's a new tenant at this point. A different tenant.
I have a question for the city. Is the parking apron permit, need a permit for all the cracks and?
If they're gonna replace it, it's gonna require a permit.
Do you have a plan for the parking, the driveway and the apron?
I just need to get more clarification on that, I think, from the, whatever services it is, construction services, or, because I've looked at it, and I just need to get more clarification.
Any other questions? Ready to vote?
I'll read something.
Okay.
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders DP Miller LLC to correct the violations within 90 days or by July 21st, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
So I did the 90 because I think he's gonna have to do something with the driveway. He's gotta paint the house.
Window.
I think 120 is too long for the amount of time it's been open, but that's where my 90 days came in.
It just, it's astounding to me that he's let the building get to this state.
When he has
That
other
appears to be-
properties as well.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Right.
No,
And the loosey-goosey, I pass the buck to the tenant bothers me a lot. So we're just hoping that he and the tenant continue to communicate for the next 3 months.
I personally would like to see.
Would you like it
60
amended?
days.
60 was where I was feeling too, yeah.
Because I want eyes on this.
I was going back and forth just because of the concrete and the painting.
And you're absolutely
Which is
right.
not, painting is not required for a permit, but I think
Yeah.
he's gonna have problems with that driveway.
It's gonna take a little bit of time. You're right.
But I
You're
agree
right.
with the oversight. It gives them the oversight. Or if you're comfortable with that.
60 days? I can amend. I will amend item number 145, case 25-28984. The board orders to correct the violations within 60 days or by June 21st, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Motion and a second. Let's vote.
Alseckless,
Yes.
Henshaw,
Yes.
Hensler,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wait,
Yes. Okay, so the board gave you 60 days. I think you heard the discussion up here too. Suggest maybe not delegating in the future. I know it's well intended, but good luck.
Item number 132, property owner Wendy's Properties LLC, investigator Ryan Henderson.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Henderson, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 132, case number 24-17047 regarding property located at 1115 34th Street North. I was sworn at this meeting. The property is a commercial structure and is occupied by the property owner. This is a citizen complaint case. The property was first inspected on September 19, 2024, and a violation notice sent to the owner at the compliance date of June 4, 2025. The property was last re-inspected on April 20th of 2026, and the following violations still exist. There's a chain link fence on the property. It's on the east side of the property. That was installed on site. It does not adhere with the buffering standards to prevent light pollution into the residential areas. 0 out of 1 violation has been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, and sent certified mail. The notice was also hand-delivered by myself on 4/10/2025, or 2026 rather. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 18980, page 1268. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was on 12/5. That was with the representative, the real estate person, although I did talk to the local manager on the 10th. The department recommends 25 days and $200 per day thereafter for non-compliance. I would like to enter into evidence as exhibit number 1, photographs which were taken on April 10th and April 20th. The document number is 0420260047 RLH CEB. So this is the elevation of the Wendy's. This is the fence that is on the east side of the property that is not properly buffered. And then the other photograph just shows that it doesn't continue the entirety of the property. South of that fence, there's actually a wooden fence. So it just gives you an idea of what the property looks like. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as exhibit number 2. This concludes my presentation.
So, yes, please. Yep.
So just some additional details because there's a little bit of a history with this. So the property owner had actually submitted for a permit to install that fence and it was approved. However, it shouldn't have been because of the buffering requirements that Mr. Henderson mentioned. So once that was brought to our attention, that's why there was kind of a delay in the processing of the case because we were having conversations with zoning, trying to sort all of the details out. It was determined that that permit and the approval of the fence was issued in error and that, you know, the solid fence is required to be installed there. So I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware of those details as well. So, you know, what was installed doesn't meet code requirements, and there would just need to be a new fence installed and approved that meets the code requirements. So.
Okay, thank you. That was going to be my question. How do we get here? Is there a permit in process right now to have the fence redone? Do we know?
Did they change the permit so that they could go?
There's no new fence permit in process, and the original 2024 fence permit has not been revised.
Okay.
Can they not just put, like, I have a property that's got a fence and the barrier between the two properties is with slats in the fence?
You know,
Is
there's
that acceptable?
there's specific requirements when it comes to buffering, and like adding mesh or inputting those is not. It has to be a decorative fence, I believe.
I
Certain
see.
designs with landscaping and things of that nature.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just had a question. This was a citizen complaint, but in the photos, it didn't look like there were any houses near that fence. Do you know what is the complaint about? Towards the back was where that wood fence is?
I can check. I have the address. I can look it up.
I was just curious.
It's
The
probably
complaint is
whoever's
wood
being
panel
swept by the
fence
drive-through
replacement chain
headlights.
link, creating insufficient.
So
That makes sense.
the main complaint that came in was wood fence replaced with chain link fence, creating an insufficient buffer for surrounding properties.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's-
Thank you.
That's drive-through traffic.
Can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Good morning. My name is Scott Brady. I'm the facility manager for Wendy's, and I'm representing the property of 1115 34th Street North, which is the Wendy's.
So it sounds like you got a permit issued. Oh, sorry.
Or his office address? Your office.
Your office address.
What's our office address? It's in Tampa. You'll have to,
Or residence address.
I can give my home address.
That's-
It's
yeah.
847 69th Street North. I am a St. Petersburg resident. I've been in St. Petersburg my whole life, so.
Perfect.
I'd like to give a little history of what's going on with this restaurant. I've been employed with Wendy's for 15 years.
So can I just in the sake of brevity, we kind of heard how we got to this point. Sounds like there's some corrective action that needs to take place. If what you're going to give us is relevant to kind of the go
It
forward.
is relevant.
Okay.
It's very, very relevant.
All right.
So, I would like to share this with you, if I could.
We'll just need to keep it.
Yeah, we just,
You can keep it. This is what brought this to this transformation. St. Petersburg is suffering from homeless, which is an absolute shame that we're suffering in St. Petersburg with the amount of homeless that's going on. This restaurant has been plagued by it bad. We've had to take the receptacles outside away. We had to get rid of our outside tables. And then, and Mr. Henderson is an awesome inspector. We met on site. We had camps on our property between the feces, the needles, the trash. We get violated for that, for outdoor storage. We've cleaned this property up multiple times, cost us a lot of money. We got violated because the wooden fence had a hole in it. I left the hole in it because they kept breaking it to cut through. So when I met Mr. Henderson, I said, what about a chain link fence? See if the city will approve. And that's exactly what I did. Got a GC involved, got it approved, and then I get violated. But you guys approved it. Not you, but they approved it.
Yep.
And the ironic thing is during this whole process, the emails are going back and forth. And I did that. I asked if I could put some screening up because it cost us $13,000 to stop this homeless camp. And if you look at the pictures and reference that you sent, how pretty it is now compared to the feces and the mess. So I'm asking that we get to keep our fence. Otherwise, I'm just going to spend $60,000 to put a block fence up, a block wall. Because anything else I put up, they're going to bust it because they're already starting to camp on that private property across from us. So I'm asking, I know it was an error, but man, it has cleaned up the homeless in our area like crazy.
well, I think if you heard what happened earlier today, right, with the same sort of request, that's not within our capabilities. It's unfortunate this happened. I mean, I do think we're sympathetic to how you got here. Something get approved, it was a mistake. Unfortunately,
It's a cost.
you know, we're in, believe me, I sympathize with the situation right now. But you do have people in the surrounding area that are clearly had some issues, right, with what was constructed. The complaint, citizens' complaint got filed, and now we're before us today, and, you know, this has to be remedied and rectified.
I have a question for the city. Is there such a thing as an exception I mean, because I understand we could say there is no violation. We have the ability to do that. There is a violation. But is there, yes, there's a violation, but we're gonna suggest he apply for an exception?
Yes, I mean, there's many cases that come before you where somebody encroached into the setback or something didn't meet code requirements. And so there's the opportunity to apply for a variance, but that's not a guaranteed process. I'm not sure if they've gone down that path yet or had conversations with our Development Review Services staff to determine whether or not they could apply for a variance. But that is certainly one path where they would go to a similar board, the Development Review Commission, and ask for approval to keep what was installed, and then there may be conditions of approval. I mean, that we see all sorts of different variables when those things happen. So that's one path forward. Now, it's not a guarantee, though, and so I think that's the decision the property owner has to make in conjunction with partnering with the zoning staff to see if the variance is even an option in a situation like this. But those conversations could happen. If they were to apply for a variance, then we would defer our case to that city process until it was completed.
And thank you for correcting me. Exception was the wrong word. Variance was the right word. Thank you very much.
Could I ask a question too?
Just hold on just hold on one second.
And so in that case, that would be our vote, is that we transfer it to another.
No, I mean, essentially, you would be finding a violation if you believe one exists, but providing enough time to work through that variance process potentially, which can take some time. But administratively on our side, as soon as they're scheduled for a hearing, we're going to defer the case. And then even typically, if they don't get approval, we give another 1 or 2 deferrals, understanding that, okay, you didn't get what you wanted, so now you need to either go back and look at putting in a solid wall or whatever the case may be, whatever they decide to do to come into compliance.
So how much time are we talking? Just ballpark.
I would say 90 days probably at a minimum, just because of the outreach that has to occur if they do pursue a variance with the surrounding neighborhood and things like that.
Thank you. That's exactly what we needed.
What is the city looking for Wendy's to comply? To either put up a concrete wall around that large of a parcel, or vinyl fencing, or chain link with the barriers installed?
I'd have to pull up the specific code section, but typically in order to meet the buffer requirements, you have to have a solid wall or fence.
Okay.
Yeah, so it couldn't be the chain link, obviously, with anything added to it, like I referenced earlier. Vinyl could be considered decorative. There could be landscaping that's required. So there's very specific things that are included in the code for the buffer requirements, but mostly it is the fact that there's a solid wall there to prevent the light intrusion and things like that.
Thank you.
So as far as the light pollution, and it's the headlights that come in, I know at nighttime, what's the distance of that property needs to be to not have that barrier? Because that property is super long.
Yeah, the code just references the property abutting residential.
So what about our light poles?
Well,
Light poles
those
are
are
higher than the fence, so what about the light poles that we have on?
Yeah, those are installed, so they're directly down. A car pulling into a drive-through and pushing light beams from the headlights directly into somebody's window is differently than a Duke light or your lighting in the parking lot.
One's at grade and one's at...
Yeah.
No, I get it. It's just a super injustice that, we did exactly what we're supposed to by law, by code, get a permit, and it's easy to say, well, I'm sorry, we did an error, your fault, go get it fixed. You got 60 days, 90 days to fix it. It's just, and I get the people complaining, but man, I did everything we were supposed to do, and it cost Wendy's a good chunk of change.
So I do think, sir, you do have another recourse, right, in terms of what my constituents brought up and the city talked about, which is applying for a variance.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't mean it's going to work, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Maybe something in between, middle ground is met, but that could be that's up to you to decide which route you want to go down. We'll just we're going to vote and give you some time to let you choose whatever path you think makes sense.
So will be documentation will sent to Wendy's that we get 90 days to apply
So
for?
we're going to vote, and then whatever comes out of the vote, then that'll be,
Okay.
yes, it will be communicated to you written as well. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Anybody want to read?
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the code's investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders Wendy's Properties LLC to correct the violation within 120 days or by 8/20/26. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $200 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
I think it's reasonable.
Okay, let's vote.
Sutcliffe,
Yes.
Henshaw,
Yes.
Hensler,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wait,
No. Okay, so the board has voted to give you 120 days. It's been approved. So if, for whatever reason, this is not resolved, either getting a permit pulled, because if you get a permit pulled for a new fence, this goes on hold. I think you already heard the variance situation, which also puts it on hold, but in case both those falls through at 120 days, you'll get a note to attend a special magistrate meeting, which you'll have an opportunity to present, like you did here today, your case in front of them, and they may or may not give you more time. Sorry, yeah.
If I may, if you decide to go the variance route, just please make sure you're communicating that to Mr. Henderson, because essentially, you know, the next hearing would be scheduled September 22nd. So if you're scheduled to be on like the October agenda, we're not going to make you come back to that hearing if you do pursue the variance. But
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll reach out to corporate and see. I think the variance is probably a wise way to go versus spending 60 grand.
Yeah.
You know, just to see, but we want to make the neighbors happy as well. You know, that's why we reached out about doing like a tennis court is, the mesh that goes on to the fence.
Yep.
And it blocks all the lights, so.
We had a case a few months ago about mesh. Be careful with mesh and chain link fences.
Anyways, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for being a business in St. Petersburg.
item number 133, property owner Ida Nancy Crum, investigator Timothy Howard.
I'm Timothy Howard, Building Demolition Coordinator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 133, case number 26123, regarding the property located at 635 36th Avenue South. I was sworn in at this meeting. The property is a single-family structure and is vacant. This is an internal complaint case. The property was first inspected on January 5th, 2026, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of February 2nd, 2026. The property was last re-inspected on April 15th, 2026, and the following violation still exists. Per the city building official, the fire-damaged structure is unfit/unsafe for human habitation/use. Permits are required for repair or demolition of the structure. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on April 10th, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records Book 09570, page 1033. During the course of my investigation, I have not had any contact with the owner. The department recommends 5 days and $250 per day thereafter for noncompliance. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibit Number 1, photographs which were taken on January 5th, 2026 and April 15th, 2026, document April 2026 CEB, and photo numbers 1 through 7. This is a photo of the east side of the property towards the rear. You can see some of the fire damage there. Another photo of the east side towards the rear of the structure, more fire damage. A view to the interior there. Another view of some of that interior damage. This is from the rear of the structure, taken from the north side facing south. And this is an elevation shot of the structure from the street. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibit Number 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. So is it just the one single structure on the property then?
Yes,
And it looks like fire in the back.
correct.
And I know you said vacant. I assume there's no one living in the front?
No, nobody's living in the structure currently. I believe they're residing in the RV that you saw pictured in the elevation shot temporarily as they're making repairs.
And since it's vacant, help me out, the 5 days and $250 per day?
That's because it's an unsafe violation.
Okay.
And so, Chair, I would just mention that's to remind the board, we have standard, for regular typical cases at a homestead property, non-homestead, unsafe. Unsafe is just that highest level, so that's why the number of days is the least and the fine is the highest what we can do. The board has discretion to change that however they see fit based on the circumstances.
Okay. Is there anything the homeowner could do to, like put a chain link fence up, something around it that would then lessen the number of days and make it, kind of take it off the unsafe list?
No.
Okay. Any questions for staff?
Yes. Is there any evidence that a permit has been applied for?
No permit in process.
Rehab or destroy? Okay.
Do we know how the fire started, or we'll ask?
I'm unaware.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, how you doing? My name is Jermaine Crum. This is my mom, Nancy Crum. Ida. Nancy Crum. The property is 635 36th Avenue South. We had a structural fire came in and...
Yeah,
Excuse
so...
me, sir, is that where you're living?
Yeah.
No. We had the... That's
So
what
we need to
was
get-
living.
So, yeah, we need to get to where you're,
What we living now?
both of you, please.
Oh, 2740 38th Street South.
Okay.
Thank you.
And ma'am, you're living on the property in the trailer?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, originally, when the house caught on fire, it was January the 5th, 3:30 in the morning.
So, sorry, before we go, just, where's your mother living at then?
2740 38th Street South. I had to get a house,
Same. Okay, thank
a
you.
rental house.
Okay, now,
So the original, like I said, when it happened, January the 5th, 3:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it was a structural fire come from electrical. We had a back feed, which I had to get the paperwork from the fire marshal. I got a fire master I had to hire, got the general contractor. I got everything far as, I don't know nothing about all that, but I went in every step I needed. I went downtown to the city, the codes, I got the paperwork showing for me to get the permit. We had a back feed from Duke Energy, from the transformer that fed into our house. That's where the fire came from. It wasn't our fault. So now we're going through court. We got a lawyer. We got to get all this paperwork together. So we had we had the arson team had to be involved into it. We had last I had to get the fire marshal. He gave me the paperwork stating what he had to see, what he seen. I had to go over beyond and go get a fire master, hire them to come in and find out exactly where the fire came from. The feed came from the power line feeding back into our house. Thank God everybody in the house was safe and got out safe. But my mom worked for the school board for 35 years, paid for a house. Insurance was dropped on the house as she did completing different things, getting things done. And basically lost the house in 45 minutes. So I was paying for rooms $240 a night. We got a little assistance, thank God for anything we got. But we got a card with $500 on it for 3 grown people to go pay for a room, pay for clothes. We lost everything. I was outside in my night clothes. My mom was in her night clothes. So
No shoes.
No shoes, no nothing. So we had to start all over. So what I did, I ended up going to get a camper. I got a camper, put that in the yard. I talked to him first. They said they don't have no problem with that because of the hurricane, they was allowing it. I put the camper in the yard, staying there because it was costing me too much money, $240 a night for a hotel. That's crazy.
Yep.
So then finally, 2 months ago, I ended up getting a house.
Rental.
A rental, well, it's a rental house, but we went from paying $0 a month to paying a couple $1,000s a month for rent now.
So, sir, it sounds like you guys are in much more. So, first of all, I apologize for the fire. I mean, that's horrific what happened. I'm glad everyone's okay. Sorry that you're having to deal with the situation. Sounds like you guys are in good living conditions, better living conditions now.
Now-
So, what is your plans? It sounds like are you in the middle of a lawsuit? Like,
We're in the middle of trying to get a lawsuit regarding to the house because it was a cause from Duke Energy.
so have you retained lawyers?
Yeah, I got a lawyer. I'm steady getting all the paperwork together. His name, Jim.
No, that's okay. So you retain lawyers, and so they're advising you what to do.
They advised me to just get everything together, everything we lost, the price of everything of what's going on, the general contractor, how much it's gonna tear the house down and rebuild the house. I paid for that part already. The only thing we're waiting on now is them from them to do a draw up, which is the architect to do his part. And once he do his part, then we can submit. He can submit everything in.
Okay.
For a permit?
Huh? No, ma'am. The architect for the lawyer, I have to give everything to the lawyer. I went down to the codes, and I got the paperwork here for the permit. And they told me to make sure I came to show that I've been coming down there to do everything I need to do.
Okay, now I understand.
So do you have, and I hate to ask this question, but for us, we're trying to give you time to rectify the situation. Do you have any idea on when you think you're going to be able to do some work on the structure? Because I think what I'm hearing is the lawyers are probably telling you not to do anything, right? As you're investigating.
Nothing. The only thing they told us to board it up to keep people out.
Right.
In which I've got it boarded up, so I don't have to worry about that.
So is it secure where nobody can get in from the outside?
Just the picture that he showed last on the side, that's where the general contractor, they went in.
Right.
And they told me make sure I board it back up because the stringers in it is no good.
Exactly. So you think, in your opinion, the whole structure's...
Yeah, my backyard is fenced in.
Okay.
And inside the gate, I have a dog. I come there every day. I had a spigot put there so I can go back there and give my dogs water and everything. And
That's what woke us up.
That's what woke us up. It kept us alive. The dogs barking. So
what are your intentions with the property? What do you guys think you're going
we're
to do?
gonna tear down and rebuild.
So you are going to rebuild?
Yes, we just got to go through the process.
And then at what point, do you have any idea at what point you think you're going to be able to get some guidance from the attorneys that'll then allow you to start doing some work in the home?
I'll say within the month. Once I get everything, all the rest of the paperwork, the architect finished the drawing up of the new house. Or
He broke his leg.
The architect was in the car accident and broke his leg. So I got the papers on. I got it on my phone.
So you think in a month you're going to be able to submit permits? Is that what
I should be able to get to it.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the lawyer. The lawyer gonna be able to do.
You'll be able to submit. They won't be.
Okay, let me kind of put this in order because I just want to make sure I understand the chronology of it. So you said the house is paid for free and clear. There's no mortgage or anything. And you said at some point the insurance company dropped.
No, I dropped it. I dropped it. I figured after being in there 30-some years, nothing ever happened.
And
so
the work need to be done.
It was stuff that needed to be done, and my money, what I had paid.
Go any further. Okay, so there was no insurance, so you applied for, it's your position that Duke's responsible for this.
Yes.
Duke with their army of attorneys that are going to fight this for the next 15 years.
Yes.
Okay, so what you're asking us today is to give you an opportunity to pull listen to my question.
Oh, sorry.
Because once you do the permitting part, then we're off your back and you can go forward and do your court case.
Okay.
Okay. But today, our purpose is to give you time to deal with the permitting issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what you just responded to Chair was that you're not even going to apply for a permit until your attorney gives you the go-ahead to do that? Just yes or no?
Yeah, basically, he's telling me exactly what to do with that. As far as I got the, I ain't gonna say the permit because I can go get a permit. I'm just waiting on the architect.
Okay, so that's the little window of
Yes.
what we're dealing with today.
Yes,
Okay, so you just need time to get the permit.
yes.
And the permit you're gonna apply for at this point is just a demolition permit.
It's gonna be well, they told me to get a homeowner's permit or a some permit. I have to get back with them. I'm new to that. I don't know anything.
What I'm hearing is that the lawyer wants him to go through all the motions so that he can have a dollar amount to go to Duke with his handout.
Yes.
So I understand that. My question for the city is it you apply for the demo permit, you do the demo, and then you go and apply for a permit to build? So we're talking but they only need one for
For our purposes, they just need to demolish it.
Right.
And then once it's down and the demo permit has approved finals, we would close our case.
Right, which makes your job simpler because at this particular second in time, all you need is the demo permit to get out of trouble here.
Yes.
So you just need time to get a demo permit.
Yes.
Okay, which you would not need a whole lot of reports for that, correct? They don't need architecture and stuff for
No,
a
they
demo
would just
permit.
need a utility final. Everyone's
Right.
signing off to
So you don't need all that stuff for that. Okay, so all those papers you got in your hand, which are as confusing as heck, and I get it, you need to sit down with somebody and say, all I want at this moment in time is guidance on getting a demo permit. So I can get these people sitting up here off my back.
Okay.
How much time do you need for that?
If we can get at
least 3 months.
Yeah, but if we might be able to get it complete before that, but at least 3 months.
Yeah, and I would, anyways, I think your conundrum is you've got a couple entities you're gonna have to deal with, right? Your attorney, you're gonna have to green light from them, and then the insurance, well, you don't have insurance, but whatever the attorney says, that they've got sufficient evidence, right, to then go after Duke.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to demo the property while they're still investigating.
That's what we
So
was
that's,
in the
yeah. Okay, any other questions?
But the house is boarded up.
Hey, someone want to read?
I'll take a crack at it. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Ida Nancy Crum to correct the violations within 90 days or by the date of July 21st, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $100 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Alseckless?
Yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wait.
Yes. Okay, so the board voted, gave you 90 days. So if in 90 days, let's say
As long
nothing.
as I just get the demolition permit.
Yeah.
Within the 90 days. Thank y'all.
But let's assume nothing happens, right? And you don't have the demo permit and you're still in litigation. I hope that in your case it's not the case. But if you are, you're going to get a letter from the special magistrate to attend a meeting where you'll go in and present just like you did to us, and they will most likely give you more time to keep working on what you're working on.
Okay. Thank you.
So good luck. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry.
No problem.
They need to get Duke Energy to inspect their lines, because that's where it came from, a line, and ain't no telling where somebody else's house will do the same thing.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you all.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Item number 138, property owner Clarence McCoy II, investigator Timothy Howard.
I'm Timothy Howard, Building Demolition Coordinator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 138, case number 26668, regarding the property located at 2500 37th Street South. I was sworn in at this meeting. The property is a single-family structure and is vacant. This is a codes-initiated case. The property was first inspected on December 9th, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of February 2nd, 2026. The property was last re-inspected on April 15th, 2026, and the following violation still exists. Per the city building official, the front porch of the structure is unfit/unsafe for use. There is no requirement for the structure to be vacated. An engineer's report and permits are required for repair. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since this case